Hello, everyone. Welcome to Just Begin, where we talk about starting a business or if we should start a business, especially while working a full time job. And today I want to talk about using credit cards to keep you afloat while you're building your business. So today's title is I maxed out my credit card to stay in business. Okay, so let's just jump right into the topic. So we already know that if you quit your job, if you decide to quit your job and start a business, okay, it's always very, very smart to have some savings put away so it can keep you afloat and help you pay your monthly bills while you figure things out with your business, because we do know that not all businesses generate money when they're first started. I know my business did not generate money for a few months, but I still have bills coming in. So what I did was I lived off of my savings, and I also used my credit cards, okay? So it was always my intention to just use my savings and just use my cards a little bit, but things don't always go as planned. This is real life, and things happen the way that they're gonna happen. So the way that it happened for me was that I ran out of my savings, so then of course I went to my credit cards, and that was fine for a little bit, but I knew in the back of my mind I did not want to use more than 30% of my credit limit, okay? Because we all know that if you use more than 30% of your credit limit, you run the risk of your FICO score dropping, okay? And nobody wants that. I know I didn't want that. I had worked really hard to have a good credit score, and I didn't want it to drop, okay? But when life happened, I did have to start using my credit cards. And it did get to the point where I maxed out my credit cards. And part of the reason why I am making this video is to just give you some encouragement and let you know that everything's okay and you're going to be all right, okay? When we're talking about finances, when we have a startup business and it is in the phase where it is not generating income yet, and you notice that your savings account is, depleted, it's at zero, and now you have maxed out your credit cards. When you get to that point, and then your credit score starts to drop, that is definitely the time when you want to start either getting a full-time job or at the very least getting a part-time job, because my credit score did drop when I maxed out my credit cards. It dropped about 70 points, okay? So I was down in the 600s. I mean, it happens, it's life. But the thing about it is I did not allow my situation to spiral out of control to where I was paying things late, okay? If you have to max out your credit cards and you use 100% of your credit balance, I mean, that's not ideal, okay? We know that's not ideal, but remember, you're doing it because you're building your business and you have to pay your monthly bills, and you may have to pay some bills associated with your business. You may have a virtual business address. You may have a business phone that needs to be paid along with all your personal bills. So as long as you are not letting it get to the point where you are actually getting late payments, like on your credit card, okay, it's one thing to max your credit card out. It is another thing to pay that credit card bill late, okay? Because once you get on your feet and you start making payments and paying your credit card debt down, it's going to be very hard to get those late payments taken off. So that's just one thing that you want to keep in mind. So for me, my personal experience, when I maxed out my credit cards, when I used 100% of that credit limit, yes, my FICO score did drop 70 points, and hey, it happened. It happens. But I did go ahead and work a part-time job to make sure that I had money coming in to make those credit card payments, because you'll get your monthly bill and you have to pay the minimum payment. At the very least, you have to make that minimum payment for your credit cards, even while it's maxed out. So you still want to stay on top of that, okay? And that's what I did. So the reason why I'm talking about it is because there is some sunshine after the rain. Yes, my credit score did drop 70 points, but now my credit score is back up because as soon as my business started generating money, I went ahead and paid those credit cards off. Okay? And once you pay that debt off, or even if you don't pay it off, let's say you just get your credit card debt below that 30% usage of your credit limit, then you should be in the clear again. So what I did was, what worked for me personally was just to completely pay off my credit card debt, and then my credit score did jump back up to 70 points that I lost when I had my credit cards maxed out, okay? So this is just to let you know, if you do find yourself in a situation where you are maxing out your personal credit cards because, you started a business, you're in a bind, it is okay, okay? Make sure you get a part-time job to have some cash coming in so you can make those minimum payments on your credit card, but don't worry too much, because as soon as you get the money, go ahead and pay your credit cards off and your FICO score will go back up, okay? And I can attest to this because I went through it. This is personal experience. I did unfortunately max out my credit cards, but as soon as I paid that credit card debt off, my credit score jumped back up those 70 points. So I'm back up to over a 700 with my FICO score. And, I'm still in business, okay? So if you find yourself in a bind, do what you need to do. Just don't do anything that'll cause you to lose your car, okay? Don't do anything that's going to cause you to not be able to pay your house note, whether it's your mortgage or your rent, okay? You don't want to jeopardize those things. Those things are very important, and you don't want to make any late payments, because late payments are even once you catch up with your bills, those are hard to get taken off of your credit report. And I'm not really going to touch that subject too much right now. I just more or less wanted to talk about if you have a startup business and you max out your credit card because your business is not generating income, when you do get cash and you pay off that credit card debt and you get it back to below the 30% of your credit line, your credit score will go back up. And I hope that that encourages you a little bit if you find yourself in that situation, because we don't want to use more than 30% of our credit cards, but things happen too. This is real life, okay? And always remember, if you find yourself in a financial bind as a business owner, of course, I don't want you to give up on your business, but if you need to work a part-time job, work a part-time job. If the part-time job is not enough, then work a full-time job. I personally know people who have built businesses while working a full-time job, okay? That is nothing to be ashamed of. That is nothing that should hinder you from still being successful in your business, okay? And it's important that we have these types of conversations, because sometimes when we talk to other entrepreneurs, sometimes people paint the picture that it was easy, okay? And I always want to stress, no, it's not easy, okay? Paying your bills while you have a startup business, making sure you have enough money to make ends meet, keeping your credit score intact. These things are difficult, but there are ways, okay? It is very doable. There are ways to accomplish these things, okay? Because now I can tell you that I don't have any credit card debt. I was able to pay off my credit card debt. My credit score went back up. So the 70 points that I lost on my FICO score due to maxing out my credit cards, I was able to pay it off, and I've got those 70 points back. I do have a successful business that is generating income at this time, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it. I will say that, thankful for me, I didn't have any late payments, so I didn't have to deal with that. I didn't have any lingering effects. There's nothing that was late. There's nothing that had to be repossessed. So I am totally A-okay with that. But I just want to let you know, things happen, and if you find yourself as a business owner having to max out your credit card, it is okay. As soon as you get the cash, pay off that credit card, and your credit score, your FICO score, will jump back up to where it was prior to you maxing out the credit card. Okay. And I always want to remind you, I do have a group on Facebook called Just Boss Up. It is for business owners and for future business owners, and we just talk about what business owners talk about. Okay, and I am active in that group. You can always reach me through that group. I would be happy to see you in the group. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Have a wonderful day.